Good evening, and welcome to Late Night Review, where we talk about what's happening.
And what's not.
I'm Joey Carlick.
And I'm Dakota Widener, and these are your top stories. The Electoral College met this past week, and among them was Hillary Clinton, who made this post on social media saying that she believes the Electoral College should be abolished in favor of electing the president via popular vote, right after using her electoral vote to vote for Joe Biden. Meanwhile, pictured at home is Al Gore working on his next documentary, An Inconvenient Booth.
A recent Wall Street Journal has drawn ear after suggesting the First Lady-elect, Dr. Jill Biden's doctor title, as she only earned a PhD in education and is not a physician. One critic was Tucker Carlson, commenting that Jill Biden is a doctor the same way as Dr. Pepper is a doctor. This comes from a journalist in a news organization that has the same amount of credibility as the local Austin restaurant Pizza Press. Or even worse, us.
Fair. President-elect Joe Biden has selected Pete Buttigieg as Secretary of Transportation. If approved, he will be Biden's youngest pick and first openly gay person to hold a cabinet position. Talk about a step backwards. Pete comes out of the closet just to be shoved into an old man's cabinet.
A poll from NPR stated that over a quarter of pollers said that they would not take the newly delivered Pfizer vaccine, with most of the reasonings to not trust the government or simply not knowing what is in the vaccine. Alright, I'm going to keep it real with you. If you have ever drank jungle juice at a college party, you do not need to worry about what's in the vaccine.
You don't have to worry about the Zodiac Killer either. Recently, an international code-breaking team from members of the USA, Australia, and Belgium were able to crack the 51-year-old secret code, the Zodiac Killer's 340 cipher. It is reported that the team is now diligently working on deciphering an even bigger mystery. What a woman really means when she says, "Nothing is wrong. I'm fine."
Women, am I right? In other female news, after not receiving any help from authorities, U.S. citizen Miriam Rodriguez took matters into her own hands as she became a one-woman detective squad and stalked her daughter's killers and brought them to justice. After receiving recognition, Universal Studios is now trying to claim the rights to her story and an image for a Taken reboot taken for granted.
Speaking of taking matters into your own hands, YouTuber Jake Paul recently challenged UFC fighter Conor McGregor to a fight in a video that can only be described as a teaser trailer for Entourage 3. In the video, Jake Paul, among other things, insults McGregor's nationality and calls his wife a whore. When asked if he ever fantasizes about beating the life out of Jake Paul, McGregor simply said, "It's every day, bro, and Ireland is his city."
City news time! The Cleveland Major League Baseball team has removed the word Indians from their name and is in the process of changing the mascot, who is currently known as Chief Wahoo. One of the leading contenders is the Cleveland Naps, referring to their former star player, Napoleon Larry LaJoie. There could not have been a better name chosen for a team in a sport that actually puts people to sleep. Just putting me to sleep just thinking about it.
Here to speak to us about another favorite American pastime, voting, is Georgia Senator David Perdue. Welcome to Late Night Review, Senator. How are you feeling about your upcoming runoff election? Oh, what's that? You feel like you're about to win bigly just like Donald Trump did in November?
That brings us to our next question. It says written here that you didn't show up to the debate against your opponent, David Ossoff. Why is that? It was the only scheduled debate before voting even began. Oh, okay, I get it. It's because the American people love consistency. So, just like when you skipped your Pillow Text Company meetings, even as the CEO, or evaded the Vietnam draft, you opted to skip this too. We appreciate your consistency when faced with tough situations, Senator.
Then, Senator, why schedule with us? Oh, you feel like Late Night Review is just like home? That's so sweet. And you're right. They're really not that different after all. If you like jokes about the election, then you're Late Night Review. And if your election is a joke, then you're Georgia.
Now, The question on all the Georgian voters' minds is, what did happen in that catalytic stock trading meeting before its shares were plummeted? That makes so much sense. It's not really insider trading if you divulge the information outside. Thank you for clarifying.
What is your response to your opponent David Ossoff's stance that he does not support the Green New Deal? Oh, you think that's irresponsible. Right. Trump did say that the Green New Deal is for children. Correct. I guess we were all mistaken that what he really meant was that it's for our children. And their children's children. Wow. You really do put the conserve in conservative.
Oh, what's that? You need to cut your appearance short to attend another shareholder meeting instead of passing a stimulus bill? You know, that's completely understandable. Give it up for Senator David Perdue? Perdue-doo, I don't know, whatever. Moving on. Speaking of states, multiple Texas lawmakers are calling for Texit, where Texas secedes from the Union. This isn't the first time politicians have suggested turning Texas into its own country. But you know what they say, if at first you don't secede, try again.
And Warner Brother announced that their 2021 movie slate would secede from movie theaters and go straight to streaming service HBO Max. In response, movie theaters have slashed ticket prices, so Warner Brother movies make practically nothing in return. If Warner Brothers wanted to make practically nothing in return, they would just re-release The Trojan War from 1977, a film you probably never heard of because it made $217 worldwide. Man, I haven't heard of an investment that bad since my college education.
In successful movie news, the popular animated movie Shrek, among other movies, has been inducted into the National Film Registry this year. Hey Shrek, you're an all-star. Get your fame on.
Shrek isn't the only heartthrob in the news today. The Marvel comic book character Star-Lord has been revealed as bisexual and polyamorous in the newest issue of Guardians of the Galaxy. He is shown in a ceremonial bath between his two companions, telling them, "You're my home." With this news, I'm excited to announce that my personal fanfiction is about to be canonized, one that depicts Star-Lord, Thor, and Gamora in a throuple, titled The Milky Way. Back to you, Joey.
I hate this transition. Pornhub, in an effort to combat CP, has removed all content from unverified users, cutting its vast library from 14 million to 3 million videos, making it the first social media site to actually monitor who is uploading its content. Whether it's Pornhub amateurs or bank account scams, someone's getting screwed. Oh my god.
In brighter news, the Great Convergence of 2020 will be taking place on December 21st, the winter solstice. An event that hasn't happened in 800 years will be the cause of the alignment of Jupiter and Saturn, creating what will look like a new star. Wait a minute. A new star on Christmas. Oh. Well, I guess we should have figured that the end of 2020 would bring about the second coming. This comes at the heels of the revelation that the Antichrist is in fact Tom Hanks. Should have known. He was too nice for Hollywood. Too nice.
On social media, the hashtag consensual cannibalism was recently trending, which would put a whole new meaning to the phases taking you out to eat and calling your date a snack.
CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk's 2077 is putting a whole new meaning to taking it back, as it's coming under fire for the amount of bugs in its next-gen consoles like PS4 and Xbox One. The game, which took 6 years and countless delays, is now offering full refunds for the game. While we're talking about refunds, can I get one for Zoom University?
For Late Night Review, I'm Joey Karlik.
And I'm Dakota Widener.
Good night.
Some of us from Houston, some of us from Dallas, some close to Mexico. Shout out to the valley. Watch Longhorn.